now that you're good and traumatized, it's my job. I'm a fluffer. It's going to be a whole ride, you guys. I'm going to bring up your next comic. He's a local here in Winter Park. Yeah! Yeah, one of our favorite up-and-comers. Please welcome Jeremy Emal.
Hi. Yeah, like Christine said, I'm a Winter Park local. I'm actually a native. I was born here. I learned how to ski at 3 years old at Idlewild Ski Area. It doesn't even exist anymore, so that was like a long time ago, you know? I didn't like doing it. I wasn't good at it. I wasn't bad at it, but you know, it was just one of those things. I did it for like 20 years. But nowadays, I like to be warm, so I don't do that anymore. Like in the wintertime, you'll find me mainly at home in my pajamas, wrapped up in a pink Snuggie, watching movies or playing video games, you know? So I like to play a lot of video games. I play story-based ones, and they're like Red Dead Redemption, Fallout, all that stuff, which I really like. I do simulators, flight simulators. I have a game called Farming Simulator, which if that's any indication of what kind of a fucking nerd I am, there you go. But I had this young fella tell me once that I wasn't a real gamer because I don't play competitive online shooters, which I just don't like them. I'm not good at them, kind of like skiing. But that's kind of a rude thing to say to somebody, you know? Like, I would never say anything like that to somebody, not to their face anyway, you know? I'll talk behind their back. But I got my first gaming console when I was 5 years old. It was an old wood panel Atari 2600. It came with Pac-Man, I think. And, right? And I love that thing. You guys probably heard about it on documentaries about ancient technology, you know? But when I first got it, I was like, man, this is the best thing in the world. I'm gonna do this for the rest of my fucking life. And well, here I am still talking about it. But 2 years after I got the Atari, we moved to Southern California, right outside of San Diego, in a town called El Cajon. And Southern California was awesome back in the late 80s. It was really, really cool. But somewhere in the move, we lost my Atari. So, yeah, right? So we get there and I have no console. So I'm kind of bummed out. But the next big thing was the Nintendo action set with the blaster and Mario and Duck Hunt, you know? Yeah. And so there was two families in our shitty apartment complex that had a Nintendo. And across the courtyard was Ralph and Kathy and Kristen, and I was friends with Kristen, and my parents were friends with Ralph and Kathy, so that was great. But they were never home. So playing Nintendo over there was few and far between, you know, just don't even count on that at all. And the other family was right downstairs, and that was Rick and Rita, and their kids, Steven and Travis. And they weren't friends with my parents at all. And they were, you know, generally nice people, but they're greasy as fuck, definitely into some shady shit. Travis was in first grade, and I was in second grade, so we were friends. But Steven was 10th or 11th grade, and he turned out to be a dirty goddamn child molester. So, right, there's that. And so I didn't have my console, so the whole year we lived there, anytime I wanted to play video games, I was shit out of luck. Unless I marched my happy ass downstairs and paid the piper, you know what I mean? Which I was like 7 years old, you know, I didn't know any better. You know, to me it was just, I go downstairs, I get my dick touched for 10 minutes, and then I get to play The Legend of Zelda for 5 hours. And I get a plate of goulash on top of it? Awesome! That seems like a pretty good deal. And, you know, the whole dick touching thing, that was just the cost of doing business, you know? So, I say get my dick touched, but like I was 7, so it wasn't really quite a dick yet. It was still like a penis, you know what I mean? So like I'd have to go down and get my penis touched to play video games, but turns out like what Steven did actually was a pretty serious crime, you know? Instead of me just being some freaky little Nintendo prostitute, you know? But like thinking about how I was back then, like prancing my little twink ass around the courtyard, spandex shorts, a sleeveless Thundercats shirt. I had this golden wavy surfer mullet that I rocked. So I definitely looked like a prostitute, you know? I was playing the part rather well, so that's probably why I got picked on for, you know, doing what I had to do. But, you know, man's gotta eat. But anyway, the point of the story is, when that kid told me that I wasn't a real gamer because I don't play online shooters, I said to him, I was like, listen here, you fucking noob. I got dibbled for an entire year just so I could play Excite Bike. You know? Why don't you go down to Rick and Rita's for a weekend and get your penis touched so you can play Call of Duty? I guarantee that you will give up gaming for life before you even get your first plate of goulash. You know? So anyway, that's my time. Thank you very much. The next comic coming up is Brad Bellinger. He founded the Laugh Lines Comedy Store in Boulder. So give it up for him. Thank you.
Let him hear it. Come on. Give him some noise. Yes. Would you believe that was